Okay, first project. We are going to be using the Gingerbread and Peppermint. I gotta move this thing out of the way. Gingerbread and Peppermint Designer Series paper. We're going to be using the gingerbread dies. And I'm going to be using the Tidings and Trimmings stamp set for my sentiments. The sentiments that were in this frosted gingerbread set, the only one that really worked for me was this one, but I've been using that a lot, so I kind of wanted to switch it up. I didn't want all my Christmas cards that I'm going to send out this year to be the same. So I'm going to switch it up, and I'm going to use the sentiments that are in this stamp set instead. But this is a bundle. Obviously, when you buy bundles, you save 10%, but we're only using the dies today. Okay? All right. So here are my papers that I've already got cut. I need some ink. Real Red and Old Olive. I've got some ribbon to do a little ribbon trick today. Maybe use the rest of the, well, not the rest, but I have some red Wonderful Gems left, so I might throw those out there. Here's my stamps. And then it's possible that we're going to throw a few of these little gingerbread and peppermint acrylic shapes on this card, because they're lots of fun. They're very cute, and they're very thin, so they don't add a lot of bulk to your project, which is nice. Ooh, Terry said she got it. Yay! Excellent. Oh, Laura says she's on an iPad and she can share. Dolly's on her computer and she can share. Trisha's on her computer. Yeah. Oh, gosh, you guys. What? Who knows? Okay. Let's move on and have some fun. We're also going to be using the Tailored Tags dies, and these are 20% off today, you guys. Today is the last day for this. If you haven't ordered them, you should. And you can do that in my store at shoppingwithbarb.com. Okay, so here are my pieces of paper. So I have a thick Whisper White card base. I have this tag, and I wanted to show you a little trick. So at first I cut the tag with my basic white cardstock. So it was all the way. It was the long tag, but it was a little bit too long for what I wanted to do with it. So to shorten it, I ran it through again, but this time I messed around with it and I could feel it kind of click into place. So there's all these little tiny, well, they're little die spots, and you can feel it when they kind of click back into place here. And so that's all I had to do. I just clicked them into place on the sides, ran it through again, and then shortened my tag. So it's just a tiny bit shorter, but it's enough that I felt like it made the card. That's what I wanted from the card. So there's a little trick for you guys in the tags, using the tags. Okay, so we have a bunch of pieces here. These are some pieces that I took out of this little container. Sometimes when I'm trying to make, like I just told you, my designing is where I lack. And so a lot of times I will die cut a lot of things in my preparation for making a card that don't make the cut, that I don't use. So I save all those. And so I have all these die cuts from this bundle that I have saved. And I had this, which already has Wink of Stella on it, and this red one were in here along with these other ones. I've got a couple of other ornaments. I've got this gorgeous snowflake. I've got some of these little pinwheel kind of pieces that go on the circles to make little peppermint candies that I just found out that's what they were for a couple weeks ago by you guys. So thank you again. And so that's what I did. I pulled out some of these things I had already had cut, and they actually are going to work on my project today. So I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so obviously these are going to layer together like that. And we have to, this is kind of a fun fold. It's going to be a very different kind of card. I've got to get my paper cutter. Okay, so this is, I said thick basic white. I think I did. Hello, Donna. Nice to see you. Donna's joining us, you guys. Carol, you are welcome about that tip. Glad to help. Okay, thick whisper white. I'm never going to quit calling this stuff whisper white. Thick basic white. And I folded it in half. So I'm going to now cut it. So I'm going to slide it into my paper trimmer at 1 1/4. Get that all lined up. And then I'm going to start on these little blades. There's a little notch right here, a little spot. That shows you where the blade actually is. So you can see that from the top of the blade. So I've got the arm down and right on that score line, and I'm just going to cut up. Okay. Then I'm going to slide my card over to 4¼ inches. And, whoops, 4¼ and I'm going to do that exact same thing. So I'm going to find my score line or my fold line, and I'm going to cut up. So this is what I have now, this kind of flippy floppy thing. Okay. Hello, Joanne and Donna and Deb and Penny. Oh, Penny's my neighbor. How's it going over there, neighbor? All right. So this is what we have so far. Flippy floppy. This is going to be kind of a fun fold card. So then what I have are 4 strips of real red cardstock. They're all the same size. They all measure 1 1/8 by 4 1/8. Okay. Then I also have another strip of red that's 1 by 5½. And then I have these designer series paper layers that are going to go on these pieces of red. And these are 1 by 4. Okay. So let's go ahead and just get all of these things adhered together. Maybe I'll do this. I'll put all adhesive on all my reds. And then we'll put the DSP on all of them. And then we can add them to the card. Okay, so there should be a very small border around all of these pieces. Oh, about 1/16 of an inch. Okay. Whoops. I want the polka dots to show because they are a little bit cuter than that cinnamon cider twirly, not twirly, scrolly. Scrolly is not a word. It's a word I just made up. Or maybe someone else made it up and I copied it. Either way, I don't think it's a word. Okay. So I need to get my glasses on. I can see a lot better with my glasses on. Who would have thought, right? And since I just got the new ones, so those of you that have been following me for a long time know my super long journey of cataracts. I am a young person as far as cataracts go, but I've already had both of my eyes done. Okay. These are going to go on the edges here, so I'm going to add adhesive to the back of these. And we'll get those in. And I'm going to close this down just to give me more of a guide of where these are supposed to go, because they're going to sit right in between the edge of this folded over layer and the edge of the card. Okay, so that's just going to help me with my placement there. All right, there we go. And I'm just going to burnish that. My trimmer, I think I need to change my blade. So sometimes if you get those weird edges on from your trimmer because your blade is dull, just give it a little bit of a burnish with your bone folder and it will go away. Okay. Oh, here's my new glasses. I mean, maybe I should flip the camera back, but here they are. I like the no lines at the bottom, the no frame at the bottom. I've just always liked those. They're very light. They're kind of small, but I just love them. And they're pretty. They have a fun little pattern in there. And they're very comfy. And so, yeah, I'm really excited about it. Okay. And now these are going to go on the front here. You probably figured that out because they're the same size. And yeah, so I had a cataract for about 3 years that I kept waiting to get fixed because, you know, it's expensive, number one. And the last time I had a cataract surgery, my insurance didn't cover it. It went all to my deductible, so I had to pay for the whole thing practically myself, which was a lot. And so I was very scared that this other cataract was going to be the same, even though we had different insurance this time. And I know, thankfully, we have insurance. I know so many people out there don't, and we are very blessed to have insurance. But this time they paid a lot of it. I didn't have to pay nearly as much as I did the last time, so I was so grateful for that. Okay, so we have all of our little sides done. So then we have this piece in the middle here, and this measures, I think it's 3 by 5½. So that means that this piece here, or this is 3 by 4¼ 5½, 3 by 4¼ Math is hard. So this piece is 2 7/8 by 4 1/8. Okay, so that's going to set right in there. And then this is 2 3/4 by 4. So we'll get this added on to our layer of red. Oops. And then we'll add the red to the card. So this is a kind of a fun card. You get to use a lot of DSP on it. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have some strips of DSP that you're saving and you're wondering what to do with them. Now you know. Get them out and make a card. Okay. So we're going to add this to this centerpiece here. Okay. So we've got that. Then we've got our 1 by 5.5 inch piece, and we are going to attach that to the front, but only to these little floppy panels. Okay, that's the only place we're going to do that. You know what? I got some adhesive over here. Adhesive eraser to the rescue. All right, so I'm going to add adhesive. This is about, where am I? About an inch from the bottom, maybe. You know what I'm going to do? Because I want it to be even, I'm going to pull in a piece of this grid paper here. And I'm going to line these up with some grids. And that way, when I put this on, I can put it on so it's right where I want it to be. And actually, I think I'm going to add a tiny bit of adhesive to this end here. So I've just put it kind of at the top on both ends because I should have put this a little bit higher. I didn't, but it's going to be fine. And so now I'm going to put this on. Again, I'm following the lines and I cut it a little too long, which of course is better than cutting it too short, right? Because for this, I can easily snip that excess off. But if it was too short, oh, that would be a problem. So now you can kind of see what's going on here. So when the person opens the card, first they're going to open it like this, and then they're going to have to open it up like that to see the inside. So it's just a little kind of interactive kind of thing. So now we have our little label, and I'm going to stamp my little front sentiment on this. We got any comments here? Oh, Tana's on. Hello, Tana. And Nina's here, and Denise, and Joanne, and Donna, and Mary. Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I was talking earlier about, for you new people, how grateful I am to all of you for sharing the video and giving it a thumbs up and commenting while we're doing this. And after the fact too, the comments and the shares and the likes after I'm done being live are also very helpful. I'm a small business owner. I'm a one-woman show, and all that helps me out tremendously, you guys. So thank you again. Okay. So we've got our little cheers. And like I said, I did pick the tidings and trimmings set because I wanted some different sentiments than what was in the gingerbread and peppermint. All right, so we're going to end up putting this on a little bit cattywampus because that's how I roll. Because then I don't have to make it perfect. If I make it purposely imperfect, then it's easier. All right. Oh, Judy's so funny. She said we need more thumbs up. Yay, thumbs up. All right, so this is going to go on the inside. All the way on the inside, and hopefully we can center this. And there. Did I screw that up? Oh, no, thank goodness. Okay, and then I have one more little stamp. This is some of these fun little candies, little peppermints. And so I'm going to do these in red, and I'm just going to stamp them kind of around the sentiment a little bit. How did that happen? Did I literally like drag it across there? I mean, obviously I did. All right, well, we've got a sand eraser, so we're going to maybe let that dry a bit, and then maybe I can get rid of it. We'll see. Okay. Your hard work shows. Oh, Wendy, you are so sweet. Wendy says my hard work shows in my creative cards. My cards that take me all day to make. I wish I could design faster. But you know what? We all have our strong suits, and designing's not mine. There we go. Okay, so like I said, I'm going to put this on a little bit cattywampus. So I'm just going to add a little bit of adhesive, like so. And then here we go with our little cattywampus there. I'm actually going to flip it over and press it down. Okay, and then I'm going to add these two things together. So I'm going to use some liquid glue. And I am a self-proclaimed liquid glue professional. I have finally mastered this stuff. At least I think so. And I say this now, I'm going to screw it all up. I just put a tiny, tiny bit. I don't even know if you guys can see the glue that I'm sticking on here. It's the tiniest, slightest amount. And truly, when I use these kind of dies, I should use adhesive sheets, but I just honestly, I never think about it. I have them and I have used them before, but I don't think about them all the time. Because I know that I can get these, detailed die cuts done with liquid glue if I'm just careful and don't, put too much glue on there. Then it works out pretty good. Okay, so we are going to add this ornament to the bold ornament. There we go. Get that pressed on there. Sentiment hidden under the... Oh, Mary, you could. She's right. I wonder if we should do that. Let's see. Do we have a little skinny sentiment in here? So this says, cheers from our home to yours. Wishing you a joyful... Oh, yes. We are going to do that, Mary. Thank you so much for that little suggestion. Okay, so since this strip is 1 inch, I think if we just used like a slightly less than 1 inch, that it would be perfect. Okay, so here's a little trimmer, and I know I probably shouldn't use this trimmer because we don't sell it, but it just sits on my desk and it's the most handy thing. It's the most handy thing in the world, and I love it so much. Okay, I'm gonna go 3 because I said that this white layer was 3 inches. Actually, I'm not gonna go 3. I'm gonna go what size the piece of Designer Series paper was, which I think was 2 3/4. So we're gonna cut it to 2 3/4 by like, what was it, 15/16. And we're going to pull this out. Oh, Mary's brilliant. Mary Ford. Yes, Mary Ford, you are brilliant. Okay. So I'm going to bring in a silicone mat. This is how I mount my photopolymer stamps. And you guys always ask me about these. These clings are something Stampin' Up! Used to sell. They're grids, and they're just like a window cling that sticks on your block. And I am addicted to them. I honestly really can't stamp without them. And so, yeah, I am hopeful that Stampin' Up! Is at some point in time going to come out with blocks that have grids on them. I've got my fingers crossed, and I just keep waiting every year when we have our new catalog come out. I'm like, oh my gosh, please have blocks with grids. Please have blocks with grids. We haven't yet, but I'm still going to be hopeful. Okay, so right in the middle, try to get it in the middle. We'll see. I mean, I should be able to. Get off. Yay. Okay. Then why don't we, since we're doing, wait just a second. I have some of these little things already done here. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have done that in green. And then we could put, let's change our mind here. Let's do it in, I love stamping with you guys. Honestly. You help me so much. A lot of times I come here and I don't have I got to spank this and dry it off. I don't have everything figured out, and you guys are always helpful. So thank you. Okay, so we're going to go green. Little change of plan here. And we'll get that stamped on there. Then we can add this little thing. So cute. Just like that. Do I have another one? Or, you know what we could do? I don't have another one here, but we have this little guy. Let's put this on. We've got some things already done. I'm trying to get a little tiny bit of glue out here. Just a tiny, tiny bit. There we go. And we're going to set that right on the edge. And I'm going to end up trimming off that excess, I think. Okay. All right, Mary, here's the moment of truth. Here we go. Okay, so Mary says we should stick it right on there. So I think, how do I do this? I guess I'm just going to have to kind of wing it and see. Up a little bit. You know, I wonder if we could. Let's try something. This is like that kind of putty stuff, you know, that you can stick things on the wall with. So let's stick that there, and let's stick this on that. Get it centered, and then let's add adhesive, and let's close this, and then let's get that off. How did that work? Did that work pretty good? No, it's crooked. That did not work. But I think I think we've kind of got it in the right spot. So if we just kind of wiggle it around a little bit, I think it'll work. Okay. All right. Mary's brilliant. And then we have that. Oh, and now that I have that open, I can find my sand eraser and see if we can get some of that off. Even if I could just make it a little less red, that would make me happy. It's working. Use the other end. This is one of the little goodies that comes in my adhesive kit. Okay, that is mostly gone. Oh my, this is so fun. Okay, where is our ornament that we made? What did I do with that? Oh, it's right here. Okay, so our ornament is going to go on here. Oh, this is making me so happy. So happy. Mary, you just made my whole day. Okay, there we go. Yes. All right, so then I still have these gems, and I still think I do want to use them. Maybe, and I don't know, it might be too much red. This is a little trick that I also do, you guys. When I want to see if a gem's going to work, I will cut it from its plastic, okay? And then I'll kind of stick it down on my card without any adhesive or anything, just keeping the little plastic sheet on there. And I've got a small one here too. And then if I decide that I don't like it, I just put a glue dot back on this backer board, and then I just throw it back on there. And that way I don't have to waste it, you know, because sometimes if you take it and you stick it on there, it sticks and it doesn't come off, and then you've wasted it if you hate it. And so that's what I do. So anyways, I think I like that. But here's the last thing we're doing to this card. So we have this real red sheer, what's it called? Real red sheer ribbon. I better close this or we all know what's going to happen. And so you can see that I did a little tester. I'm cutting the edge off, okay? The edge of the ribbon, I want to cut it off just so it's kind of going to be like a little piece of twine for me. So I am just taking some sharp scissors. I have a lot of scissors down here, and they're all marked differently. Like this one has a silver asterisk on it. That means almost brand new, super sharp. And so that's what I'm using to cut this off. So once you get it started, it's not so hard. You can just hold on to the bottom and then just kind of cut up. And it's really weird. I mean, you can't feel it, but I can feel it. It's almost like it just wants to be cut off. You know, as I'm following the line here with my scissors, it just feels like it's like, yeah, okay, you can cut me off. All right, so this is what I have, this little tiny, it's almost like a little piece of twine. So I'm going to use this and I'm going to make a bow. There we go. And we'll get it to the size that we want it. We will pull it tight. It needs to be a little bit more perfect. And see, this is what I said. This might be too much red, but I was going to stick that right there. So I need a glue dot. And I'm going to roll it up because I don't need it to be huge. So I just kind of rolled it up into the shape of a tube. And I'm going to stick that back here on my knot. And then I'm going to stick that like that. And then I can take my scissors and snip off the ends. Maybe we don't need these dots. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. What do you guys think? Dots or no dots? Leave me a comment and let me know. Or maybe I should find some other color, you know? You guys let me know what you think we should do. Oh my gosh. Look how stinking cute that is. Ooh, while you're deciding that, let's get an envelope here. Okay. I'm going to move those little guys kind of out of the way. I might need to keep them though because, yeah. Dots or no dots? All right. I think most of you are saying dots. Well, no, some of you are saying no. Irene just said adorable. I kind of feel like we've had more dots than no dots. So, majority rules when we're stamping. That's just how it has to be. On every other dot of the ornament. Oh, Lisa had a good idea. What do you guys think about this? If we brought the dots in, now obviously I'd get them all the same size, but what do you guys think if I did something like that instead? Because you guys are still saying yes on the dots on the tag, but do you feel like we should skip the tag and put them on the ornament? I don't know. I like that. That does give some interest to the ornament. Too much red on red. Yeah, Tony, I might agree with you there. Yes on the ornament. Yes on the ornament. Yes on the bauble. Tag. We've got a lot of conflicting information here. What do I do? What do I do to make everybody happy? I don't think that I can. So why don't we change our minds? Maybe. What if we went with just rhinestones? Would rhinestones make everybody happy? And we could put rhinestones literally everywhere. Let's just try it. Because we're liking having some gems, I think. I think that was a pretty good consensus that yes, we were interested in gems. So let's just see what we think of this. And I've got so many rhinestones that I don't care if I use them and we don't like it. This might be overkill. Is there such a thing as too much bling? I mean, seriously. Now I'm using mediums. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. This is, I think, my finished. Oops. Hold on. We got to get that back where it's supposed to be. You don't get to go away. Maybe if I smash it with a pair of scissors. There. I think these need to be smashed down a little bit. Okay. I've made an executive decision, and this is what I'm going with. Oh, this is so awesome. This is awesome. Actually, we have an envelope. I think we should just stick some little these on here. Oh, here, let me show you what I mean when I say I stick them back on the sheet. So I just take a glue dot, and I'll stick a couple glue dots on here on this cardboard. And then I will stick these back on here. So I've got like a big one and a small one sharing a glue dot, and then a big one on its own glue dot. And that way, I haven't used them. I can still use them, and they're not going to fall off the sheet and get lost. So there is another Barb tip for you guys. Okay, so I'm just going to add a few of these little guys down here at the bottom of the envelope. Scratch paper, where did you go? Well, here's something that can work as a scratch paper, just momentarily while we get this figured out. Okay, there it is. Final card. Yay! I'm super excited about that. Thank you guys for all your assistance. And I have to thank Mary one more time for that brilliant idea of adding that sentiment underneath that top layer. That was really fun. All right. Let us move everything out of the way. Put that